Hello everybody. Today we're gonna talk about Dave's stock and shout out to Jack for requesting this video. Okay, so these are three things that's very interesting that I find out about this and about this company. I'm gonna talk about. Okay, the first one, I did not know that they had they hold a special meeting on December 13th to vote on two proposals I'm gonna talk about later in the video. Second thing I talk about is how much even though they lost $40 million last quarter, but in reality there's less cash burn than 40 million. I gotta get into detail of that as well. And then they also released a new special feature for special feature like Dave survey. So I'm gonna talk about that as well. So that's the three main thing we're gonna talk about. Okay, let's get on to it. The first one we can talk about is the special meeting on December 13th. Okay, and I have no idea they had that meeting because I have 300 stocks in my portfolio, and I checked the news daily for Dave. No news article wrote about the special meeting. So I don't think a lot of people know about this special meeting on December 13th. So it's already 2 days past. And the two things they voted was, one is for the reverse split. So the thing they propose is 1 for 5 reverse split to 1 for 50 reverse split. So they gotta pick a range. So excuse me, they haven't determined the range for reverse split yet. So that vote is already approved. So it's like 721 million shares voted for yes. So what's interesting is that at that meeting, 77.1% of the shareholders were represented on this meeting. So it looked like a lot of people know about this special meeting. So that's or the CEO have special shares that 10-for-1 voting power shares. That's how they get that much representation. So I'm not really sure how they get that, because I'm a big fan of Dave and stock, and I don't even know about it because there's no news release or anything about it. So I don't know about this special meeting. Okay, the second thing, so the first reverse split 1 for 50. If they did 1 for 5, so that'd be like $1.50. I really doubt it they're gonna do 1 for 5 reverse split. But so for those of you who don't know, for a reverse split is that if you have 5 shares, you only get 1 share. But the value of that 1 share is gonna be like $1.50 instead of 30 cents per share. So nothing changes. So the value will be the same, but the sentiment is kind of bad for reverse split. That means the management have no faith in the stock to get back to the $1 minimum price to stay on the last step. But reverse split, they'll meet the $1 minimum requirement. So the reverse split does not increase the value of the stock or decrease the value of stock. It just have less shares, so the price per share becomes more, but does not increase the value. So if you that's basically the explanation. If you still don't understand what reverse split is, you can watch the YouTube videos or read the articles. It's pretty easy, so you probably understand it. So if they did 1 for 50, so that'd be like $15. So you will meet the $1 minimum requirement. So that's the first thing they vote. The second thing they voted on is the equity incentive plan. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the stock-based compensation they can give to employees. So last quarter they gave around $8 million to employees. So it's not it's more dilution. So for the shareholders, so when they IPO, they usually have 41 million shares that they can give to employees or executive. So they wanted to increase that to 86 million. I think that's also approved as well. So I'm not 100% sure, but for sure the reverse split is approved. It looks like it's approved. But for the stock equity incentive plan, so votes are 515 million shares voted yes for the increase, and 14 million voted no, and 698,000 abstaining. I don't know what that means. So it looked like that's approved as well. So because 515 million voted yes for the increase in the employee stock-based compensation. Okay, so now let's look at the second thing we're gonna look at is the most recent quarter. Are they, how much cash they have left? Are they going to bankrupt? Or what they're gonna do to survive this like Fed interest rate hike, and then in the next couple months it's still gonna be really hard to raise cash. Is because the market is throwing out interest rates very high. It's like what will you invest your money on the stock market when you can put it in the bank and get like 4 or 5% interest rate? So, or buy bonds with 6, 7, 8% interest rate. So it doesn't make sense. So you get better return with zero risk. Okay, if you just buy bonds, like it's better investment. But yeah, so it's gonna be very hard to raise cash in the next couple months, or in the future if the Fed continue to raise interest rate. Okay, let's get on to it. So on September 30, 2022, service-based revenue is 52 million. Transaction-based revenue is 4 million. So transaction-based, that's the Dave credit card, or not credit card, debit card. So the total revenue is 56.8 million. So provision for unrecoverable advances. So that's like Dave extra cash. So they had like $18.4 million that people took out the loan and never paid back. So that's 18.4 million. So last year it was 10.8 million. So the loss for unrecoverable loan is like almost double, 100%. So that's kind of a little bit worried. The reason is I think the reason they increased so much is that the extra cash loan volume literally doubles from this year to last year. So that's why the loss doubles. But the delinquency rate for the loans that the Dave extra cash is still like 4%. So yeah, so that's something like that. But one thing I kind of don't like about the kind of worries me a little bit is that I think like last year per person they like get a loan from Dave, the average was like $81, but this year they increased it to like $138. So it's almost like 50% increase, but like 50% increase on loan amount you can get from Dave from $80 to $100 something. I'm not 100% sure if it's 80 to 100 something. I have to double check on that amount. But yeah, they tell you how much they did like in the quarterly release. So I'm just gonna try to find it on the sheets. So just hold on. Oh yes, I found it. So Q3 2021 average extra cash origination size is $84. So each person only like get $84 loan, but this quarter average origination is 131. So I was close. So that's about 57% year-over-year increase from the amount of loan you can get per person. But what's kind of like worries me a little is that even the loan amount increased 57%, but average revenue per user that take out a loan is $8.21. But last year it was $7.66. But that's only 7% year-over-year increase. But the loan amount increased 57%. So I would be happy if they can increase it 20%, 30% as well. But they only increase it 70%. So that means they have a lot of competition because yes, there's a lot of like extra cash app out there, so there's a lot of competition. So they're losing more money like from like people not paying back the loan. So that, as you can see, this quarter they had $18 million worth of loan people don't pay back. Last year they only have 10. So that's basically explains this part right there. And servicing fee is 9.5 million. So last year was 6.2. So that's around like, oh wow, that's also 50% increase because of the loan value increase as well. So another thing kind of worries me a little is the advertising fee, because they spend like 24 million this quarter on advertising. Last year they only spent like 12.9 million on advertising. So right now the economy is kind of bad, so I don't think we're gonna spend that much on advertising, 24 million, because we're losing money every single quarter. Still, this, as you remember, this company is not profitable right now, but they're spending 24 million. So I really would like them to like decrease the advertising at least 50% to 12 something million, like last year as well. So I do not understand why they are spending so much money on advertising. So it's like very high, 24 million. Like if you can save like money just in case for the recession, that'd be great. Just don't spend too much money on advertising. So compensation and benefits, last year was 15.4, and this quarter was 24, because they did break down the compensation. I think it was like $8 million on stock-based compensation on the, yeah. So like we talked about in the beginning of the video, they approved the equity incentive plan from 41 million. They can issue to employees to 86 million. So that's like right there. They're issuing. Then other operating expense was 18.4 million. So I think that's because there was like a legal fee they had to pay. I think it was like 6 point something million. So that's why the other operating expense was pretty high. It used to be like 10.6. So total operating expense 94.7 million. So total operating revenue is 56.8. So that's around 47.5 million loss. But if you take out like non-cash expense, so actually for real cash dollar terms, how much cash did they lose? So let's take out the use adjusted EBITDA. So let's take out stock-based compensation, 8 million. So that's like issuing stock to employees. So that's a non-cash expense. You can take that out. And then they had like a 6.8 million legal settlement and litigation fee. So that's like one-time expense as well. And so, but that's a cash expense though. Yeah, so I don't think we can take that out. So yeah, so that's basically right there. Depreciation and amortization, so that's like a non-cash expense. That's 2.4 million as well. So I'll take out about 10 million dollars, and that, so realistically they lost around 37 million. So $37 million per quarter. Usually they lost about $30 million per quarter. So 37 million. So that's pretty high. So they have like 220, I think 230, including they got like 15 million like credit facility, 230 million. So let's hopefully, like, that's why I told them to cut the marketing expense by half, because they are losing $37 million a quarter. So that's very high. And so like if they can cut it in half, like take a 10 million cut, so it'll be like they only lose like 27 instead of 37. So let's divide it out, how much how long they can still last to for the burn rate. So 230 divided by let's average out to 30. They used like for the last couple quarters they only lost 30, so let's average out to 32. So so that's 7 quarters. 1 year have 4 quarters. Oh, 7 quarters. So almost 2 years of cash burn rate. Oh, that's pretty good. Times 480. Yeah, almost 2 years of cash burn rate. So this company look like don't have any chance of bankruptcy risk as of right now. Also, I need a disclosure that I also own stock, and Dave I also own stock is like right now the position is down like 40%. I don't recommend people buying stocks or anything, so I don't want to like yeah, so disclosure, I own the stock in this company, so I don't recommend you buying it. And I have an advisor, don't want to like trying to increase the stock price by making this video or anything. I just give you a summary of what I know, and that's it. Don't buy the stock or anything like that. I don't want to like recommend you anything. Nothing else. Just let you know I own the stock. That's it. Okay. Okay, so that's like basically, and another risk is that I think money lion, and that's in the similar category as Dave stock, and I think they got I forgot which agency that investigated DOE or SEC investigated them for uh, um, like giving loans that have you have to get like a subscription to get about like charging consumer subscription to get a loan. So they got investigated for that. So they are like Dave is also doing similar business that Dave also like charge a subscription for getting a loan. So I don't know if they're gonna get in trouble with the agency like Money Lion did. So it was the investigation that could gonna take a long time. So that's also one of the risks that you need to remember. Uh, yeah, so that's basically the summary of the company. So mainly is that they have 2 years of cash runway left. So one of the moonshot that I have is that they acquire like Bird scooters and integrate the payment like credit card technology and then the extra cash technology into the Bird app, because Bird is like very popular as well. So there's another synergies between the two companies, and Bird like right now is only worth $60 million. So that's just the idea. So this is a moonshot. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.